That's annoying. Oh, wrong mouse setting. There we go, that's what I want.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
That was very good.
Security call reached. Hostile alien life form inbound.
It kind of looks like
Narration
this game
off.
is abandoned mid-development. For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin shoot evacuation.
Oh! Oh, this could have been a goal if I hadn't bumped there. That sucks. Might not have been a goal, but it would have matched. It would have matched it at the very least.
Hey, you
I'm
there.
so close to getting a 5-10 here.
You could save us all. That beam is powering the whisper machine.
Now that I know what, now I know how to do the hallway faster.
In a heat signature. If your body could stop the beam. It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, could you do it? Could you give yourself?
Sure thing. Narration on, quick save and quick load. And jump.
The beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for me. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
1, 2.
This is not a branching point, unfortunately. The only version is... Yep. In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Hey, we didn't bump. That's nice.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative. It is less advanced than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Ooh, hands are cold.
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay, next one.
Oh, this is very good. Nice.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning
Is
of
that a
this
16?
game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Still a time save though.
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games. I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead. And I don't agree with that at all. But
Come on.
what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Oh, pretty good. All right, that's definitely a time save. Could have been slightly better if I had gotten the save load earlier. But that would have been. This is still good. This is probably the best page I've been on so far.
A room that's warm.
Actually, I can't say that just yet. I still got puzzle to do,
filled with
and
little
then
ideas
exiting.
for games.
I could still fuck up down, but I don't think I will this time because I've already messed it up a few times. So it's a good chance now's
Coda
the
would
run.
often tell me that he didn't
where I get
mind
it.
if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. can be a very slow climb to get there.
Saved another second. Compared to latest at least. Right, narration off. I could have jumped there and that would have been fine. Ooh. I didn't think I was going to make that, if I'm honest. You see, I really want to turn narration back on right now, but that would soft lock the game. The only reason why I want to turn it back on is because I want to have it on for exiting, just so I know whereabouts I got past the fence at what sort of time. Pretty good.
So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Nice. All right, let's go. Let's get down. Skip. Come on.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Turn around here. Forward. Oh, almost.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things
I'll
that
take
it does
it.
poorly.
I'll take full here.
One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors.
Alright, cool.
That's why so many
Slow
of
down,
these
Skip, but I'll
games are
take
set
that.
in these large, flat, empty rooms.
That was
It's
still
just
saved at the
because he's
time.
working with what the engine does well.
Alright, that's unfortunate I missed that, but that's fine.
The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors. It's the puzzle again, with the exact same solution as the last time. There's still no clear indication of what makes this puzzle so special that Coda is going to return to it over and over. But I promise I'll share with you my interpretation very shortly.
We got down, Skip, thank God.
Here, Coda begins using a kind of dialogue system that he fashioned out of the engine's chat capabilities. Use the 1, 2, 3 buttons on your keyboard to respond.
There's an ending. Ah, no, that sucks. I thought I was going to get through that. Come on.
And so we make one last descent down to the final floor of the level.
Alright, there we go. Alright, I'll take that. I should save time here. It wasn't perfect, but
Okay,
as long as I get it, it's fine.
but for some reason, Coda
I have a chance
fixates
to
on his lamp.
PB still.
It's going
Oh,
to
maybe
appear
not.
at the end of
Ooh.
every single one of his games
3, 4,
from here
6.
on out.
Maybe I don't.
I'll tell you what I think.
We'll soon see.
I think that up to this point, he's been making really strange and abstract games with no clear purpose.
Well, I do have a lot of time to
Maybe
save in
you
a
can only
house,
float
so
around in that headspace
that's something to consider.
'Cause now
I
he
can save
wants
like 7
something to
seconds
hold
there.
on to. He wants a reference point. He wants the
epilogue
work
can be
leading to
saved,
something.
of course. There's like 2
He
seconds to
wants a
save there.
destination, which is what this lamppost is. It's a destination.
So basically, I've got 9
We're gonna
seconds of
see it in the work
possible
as well.
time save
Your
still.
games are just going to become a lot more cohesive.
I'm not expecting to save
a lot
time in
more fully
notes,
developed,
because that
more
one
of a
was
clear
very
idea behind
hard.
And as we go, that idea will
To do
get
fast.
clearer and clearer and clearer.
Right, how much time do I lose? 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm still ahead somehow. Interesting. Right, yeah, I have 7 seconds to save in notes, but it's not likely to happen. I could save like 3 seconds, I'll be happy with that.
So first off, I'm sure you can deduce this, but this game is not connected to the internet. All of the notes that you're going to see have been written by Coda. This was actually the first game of his that I ever played. This was shortly after I met him
This sucks.
at a weekend game jam in Sacramento, where I grew up. I saw him working on this very level, and it was just so different from anything that anyone else was doing. So right away I was like, I have to be friends with this person. In retrospect, I think I was probably a bit too pushy, trying to get his attention. I was over-enthusiastic. But he was very gracious about it and very patient with me. And I cooled off eventually. Oh, feel free to skip over any of these notes if
That's
they're
fine, I
not doing
suppose.
anything for you. Nothing extra is going to happen if you read all of them. Either way, to me they convey a sense of loneliness. I see this person who's filled with thoughts and feelings and beliefs and has no way to express them except as scattered and unheard voices in a game that wasn't meant to be played. At the end of this level, we're going to see the puzzle again. And here, I'll tell you what I think the puzzle
Very
is.
hard. It's very important to hit
Each of these
control
games represents
when you go
an
around these tight
idea that was
corners,
on
just so you
Coda's
can slow
mind
down
at
and
the
get
time
back
that
to
he was
speed.
making it. And the puzzle is a way of closing the door on a previous chapter.
That
of
was
his life
that was very good,
before
hopping
moving
towards the
on
end.
to the
Yeah.
next one. But it's ironic, isn't it, that in playing this game and seeing how alone Coda often felt, that we get to know it better and actually kind of connect with it. And I have to be honest with you,
This should be a good time save, actually. I'm not sure how much, but
play someone's game and see the voices in their head and get to know them better and have to do less of the messy in-person socializing. I could just get to know you through your work. I think this is why I always liked Coda's games so much.
ooh,
Is because I
nice.
felt like they let me have that connection.
Right.
I felt as though he was inviting.
So this is a gold. So
Okay, this one is tough. It's gonna kind of just spin its own wheels for a few minutes. Hang with it.
no. Ow. Rats. I bumped. Oh. Alright. Play it safe there. That could have been much better.
See, like, this is it. The whole
So
game.
wait, hang on, what's the
And there's
combination
nothing
for
that's
the telephone
particularly
again?
interesting
It's
about it. You
1
just walk
any,
to the end of a
1
hallway.
1 any 2 1 2
Except
any, I
for
think.
some reason, Coda gets really fixated on this prison with all of this modern furniture. And I don't know why, but he decides he needs to revisit this prison. He's gonna start over, use the same assets, turn it into something else. Okay, cool. Here's version 2.
Those are sofas, not stoves. Oh, excuse me.
There's a bit more to this one, but still it's not really communicating anything. It's kind of just weird for weirdness' sake.
I really like this, honestly. I think it's funny. I think it's just kind of cool to look at as well. Alright,
So
hop
okay,
time.
he throws it out and starts over. This time he comes at the prison idea from a different direction.
One. Ah! Rubbish. Can't believe I missed a lamp. This is gonna be like... I'll lose like 3 seconds on this level, I imagine. Yeah, 3 seconds lost. Alright, possibly more actually.
And of course, now the table is gone and you can't begin the chain of events to escape.
Glad that down was really good. Holy crap.
Here's a version where there are no bars, but you can't actually get to the well.
That's
And then a
bullshit. I
version
want to get to the
where
well.
The inside of the prison is the outside, and the outside is the inside. Let me just blink you real quick through a few more of these. I mean, he really unloaded on this prison idea. There's nearly a dozen. Personally, I think it's awful to watch this. To see a person
Hey, there's the puzzle.
basically unraveling through their work. And for what? Like, at what point do you just go, maybe there are game ideas other than this prison that I could be working on? But Coda doesn't have that voice telling you to stop. That particular mechanism of defense against yourself. Without it, you just spiral. And so he keeps going and going and going and going and going, and then he hits on something. And he likes it. And that's it. He's done. He stops making prisons. This is the very last version of the prison game that he created. And the reason I think it works is that the prison is not actually in it.
Careful. Ah, get in. Right. One. Then any. And then one, and then any.
It's a conversation. And so this is what Coda wants, is to be able to talk to someone, to share what's on his mind, and to get some good advice from someone who knows. But the irony is that even in this scenario, you're still talking to yourself. You know, all of these games so far are Coda talking to himself.
2, 1, 2, any. Yeah, I'm imagining like a 3-second time or so.
I can see why he considers this a fitting conclusion to the prison games. After all of the obsession and frustration, just to be told by someone you can trust that things are going to be okay.
1, 2,
Wouldn't that be
3,
nice?
4. Okay, 4 seconds lost, but it's fine. I'm still ahead. I'm still on sub 47 pace, and I have so much time to save here. It's unbelievable.
So what would it look like if Coda wanted to make a game about
I hope I
talking
get
to someone other
get
than
it good
himself?
here. Oh, mouse is on the wrong settings. Oops.
To me, this environment is meant to represent Coda's puzzle, with the 2 doors on either side and a dark transitional space between.
Right, remember, don't spam click, just click normally. And allows your homes make home loaners. Ha!
You'll notice that the quality of the art is a step up from previous games, including this new and improved chat system, which he started using from this point on. From here on out, he begins putting much more effort into the visual polish of his work, and this particular game took 2 months to create as a result.
Make it especially cheesy. ... No. Aww. Oops. Come on. Right,
After
rug
the
next.
intense set of prison games, his house cleaning
Not the
almost
tub, the
feels
rug.
like
I did that mistake in my last run.
it's the moment after a particularly
My latest
difficult
run, I mean.
or traumatic experience where you just need to let it sit and digest inside of you, and eventually cohere into something meaningful. I know that Coda really liked this game. Of all his work, actually, this was the only one that he called constant smile on his face. I'm glad he made this. I'm glad he found some peace.
I think this is much better than what it was before.
But, of course, it can't last. The music stops, your companion is gone, it's time to leave. The door at the top of the hill is now open as well. Again, you can't stay in the dark space for too long.
Cool.
You just
I think this will be a
can't.
good time
You have
save.
to keep moving. It's
And then we
how
get a
you
nice
stay alive.
cutscene to relax in for a bit.
Which is the whole point of the puzzle doors, right? That sooner or later you have to pick up and move. I really thought that was the point of it.
Still time to save, but that was much better. Alright.
This one gets a bit goofy.
How much time do I have to save the next level? I actually don't know. I'm pretty sure it was at gold. I can't remember though. Not that one. We're 23 seconds ahead of my my last run. That's kind of funny. 21 seconds ahead of above average. 14 seconds behind my best. And 36 behind world record. Huh, I saved time on against the world record on exiting. It's interesting. So best times are 46.46. If I can get like all I care about is just getting sub 47. I don't care like how much it is by. Just want to try and get it.
About halfway through the game, the perspective shifts. And you play as the teacher. Suddenly, you discover that your teacher is just as bigoted and afraid as you are. Oh, and also you can move around the classroom now. I felt pretty hard for this.
You can move around the classroom, but why would you want to?
It's one of the most relatable experiences that you can have. To assume that some other person is perfect and totally fulfilled in every way, and completely miss all of the little flaws that make them painfully human. I think about this game a lot these days. This one took a lot longer
Yeah,
than all
this is
the others
gold,
Coda
so it
made.
sucks.
It was 4 months between this and the last one. That's twice as long as it took to make any other game before this. And it's
So
not like
1,
it's
2, 3,
particularly
4, 5,
complex.
6
So I
around
remember
here.
I found that a little strange at the time.
I swear it's here. Oh no. No, I will not stay right there. I'm going to go all over here and prepare for the ending of the level. Because that's all that really matters. It's getting here quickly and getting and exiting quickly. After that, like, because this like is consistent. Because all it is smashing. I'm expecting to lose like 2 seconds. Because I don't think I can match my gold. I'm super scared right now. No, 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 that's not what I said to her at all. Actually, I don't need a match now. I could just leave it for a bit, couldn't I? Turn on the other mouse setting, and I can jump without having to scroll every time. Just does it for me. There must be some sort of rule against that. Alright, now we mash. Oh, it's not quite the angle. Yeah, almost. Kind of like that, yeah. Oh. Alright, let's go for it. Oh, that is good.
The game ends with this eerie premonition of what's going to happen next in Coda's life. The solution to social anxiety, to fears of having to perform.
That was like
having to
perfect,
achieve success,
except for getting to
answer
the stage.
for
That
Coda
wasn't
is
good.
to
That wasn't
withdraw,
perfect.
which is
This is
hide
really good though.
himself away. which is what leads to scenarios like the stairs that slowed you down several games
They get
ago,
a 600 velocity.
where it just becomes harder and
Probably
harder
not.
to access
No, I'm
Koda's
going down now.
landscape because he keeps retreating. He just keeps backing away from possible connections to anyone other than himself. And to be honest,
Hey, I made it to the end.
consider it very
Nice.
healthy when I first played this game. You know, it looked to me like he was trying to justify the idea of just disconnecting yourself from the world. And that wasn't what I wanted for him or for his games. Because I feel like a lot of his games are inviting me to connect with this person, to bring him closer.
Yay.
But what can you do?
Right, remember to spam click.
After this, Coda went off and took another 5 months to make a new game.
I'm surprised that wasn't... I was surprised how good that was. Oh, oops. Probably lose like a second here because of that. Oh, excuse me.
Like I said, I was getting concerned. First off, he's never been this explicit in his work about exactly what he's thinking. So where's that coming from? But then even weirder, his work has potentially stopped being an outlet for him. Not like he's having trouble iterating on ideas, but he literally just can't think of new ideas anymore. And in person, he was being a lot more distant than usual. Like, you know how sometimes a person will just deflect anything that you say in order to keep themselves disconnected all the time? It was that kind of thing. Here was the point in my relationship with Coda where I really started to wonder if he needed my help in some way. His games are going to get more desperate from here on out. After this game, it's almost 6 months before he finishes something new.
Oh, I actually did save time. Cool.
If the last game featured Coda talking explicitly about his creative frustrations, this one turns it up to 11. Now, put yourself in my shoes playing this. Here's a friend whose work is
Glad I made it
exhibiting
that in time.
signs of struggle, frustration, anxiety, depression, even. And yet, still, he keeps making games. Keeps throwing himself into the grinder even when he clearly doesn't have the energy for it anymore. Why? What is it for?
2, 1, 3.
Because from my perspective
How was
at the
that?
time and just what I knew of him, this was a result of how isolated he was. He was in his own little bubble, just sitting at his computer all day, not really showing these games to anyone, not releasing them onto the internet, and so he didn't have anyone outside of himself to connect with. He had no outlet to ground himself on.
No, just lean out against the wall and press 1, 2, and 3 for arrow.
Talk yourself out of loneliness. It doesn't work that way. You can't be the one writing both the questions and the answers. Then there's no movement. Then there's no circulation. If all of your anxieties are being channeled into your work, then if the work ever fails, you have no backup and you're just going to crash. Seeing this game at the time that he made it looked really unhealthy to me. I was watching him do this to himself, and I hated it. I hated seeing him so trapped. It's like, video games are not worth this amount of suffering. This is someone I really cared about, and I used to get so much joy out of seeing him create. For him to suddenly become angry and frustrated like this, it was the worst thing.
Right, how much time do I lose? Well, maybe I don't lose any.
This is what I felt at the time. I don't know how else to explain it. I wanted it to stop more than anything. I had never felt so rotten. I needed more than I had ever needed anything for this to to stop.
2, 3,
But it didn't stop. After finishing this one,
7.
Coda takes another 7 months and comes up with a new game.
Ooh, gold. Hell yes. Right, do we get soft locked here? Probably not. Hopefully not. We did not. Yay. I have a bit of time save here. I am concerned about tower and epilogue. Those are the only things I'm worried about. But I think I'll be alright. Oh, you son of a... Oh, I don't believe that.
And of course, it's the machine.
Oh, that's lost me like 2 seconds right there. Trying to go for the skip. Well, it's not even a skip, it's just like... I guess it kind of is a skip. Oh, get through, you cunt. Yeah, this is awful. I'll be like behind. I'll lose like 3 seconds here. If I lose any time in this tower and epilogue now, that's like, right, that's ruined it. This one is on the timer, isn't it? This one. I think it is. Whoops. This was an awful machine. I don't believe this.
So now the work is becoming self-destructive. And I'll tell you, at the time that I first played this game, shortly after he made it, here's what I'm thinking to myself. I'm thinking that Code is stuck in his own head, and that it's having a very negative effect on him, and that all he needs to do is just start showing his work to people, to get some actual feedback on his games. It might get him out of isolation. And so, as I'm thinking this, I realize that I could be the one to initiate it. Because it would never occur to Coda to start actively soliciting feedback, so what if I did it for him? If he could see the difference it would make to have more actual conversations with other human beings, would that bring him out of his mental spiral? Would it give him confidence in himself? Would it bring meaning back into his work? So I started showing Coda's work to people. I took this one, and the islands which you just played, the theater, the notes, the house cleaning game, and some of the prison escape games. I brought them to people that I knew and trusted. I asked their opinions. And the great part is that they really loved his games. You know, the point of it all is just to give them some external reference point, but they genuinely loved his work. There was nothing for him to be afraid of.
Ah.
Can you see why
I don't know why
felt
that
like
happens.
This was the right thing to do? Because it's the thing that I always feel like I need, to be told that my work is good, that I am good. When someone really connects with a thing that I've made, when they see themselves purely in my work, there's nothing that feels better. And I got to give that very same feeling to my friend. I did something, I really felt like I'd done something good, like I was a good person. I felt like there was a friend who was in trouble and was unhappy and maybe didn't like themselves, and I could fix it. If I could give him this gift, maybe I could fix the problem. They told me how much they enjoyed his games. It was the best feeling. It was the absolute best feeling. It made me feel so happy. So beautifully, beautifully happy.
3, 4, 5. 2 seconds lost. Okay.
So anyway,
Possibly 3.
finishes this
I'm not
game,
sure. I think it's
and
2
then
seconds though.
Really, he just kind of takes off for a while. So this is June of 2011, and I didn't hear anything from him for several weeks, I guess. And so out of nowhere, one day I get an email, and it's got a private link to a new game of Coda's. This one is called The Tower, and to my knowledge, it's
Why is
the
the
last
angle of this
game that
changing?
Coda ever made.
That's weird.
So let's take a look.
Yeah, 3 seconds lost. Alright. Towers are gold as well. But I should only lose like a second at most.
And this is where I have trouble saying anything meaningful about Coda's work. Because more than anything else, the tower just feels distant. It feels like it's trying to distance itself from the world. It's a very cold game.
Get round.
This room actually has a maze in it. Except that all the walls of the maze are invisible.
Right.
And then every time you touch one of the walls, there's this awful flashing and noise. So the experience is really miserable. The game goes beyond not being meant to be played. It actually seems to despise the player for trying to play it at all. But I do want to show you the rest of the levels, so when you're ready to continue, press enter and I'll put a bridge over the maze. And to be fair, it's not like this is the first game that's needed some modification to be playable. Like the house cleaning game. You know, that one used to actually loop the cleaning chores and you just cleaned a house forever. I had to cut it off so that you could exit the house and the game would actually
Don't
end.
screw this up, come on.
But that game had an idea that it was actually trying to communicate. What's the deeper idea behind the invisible maze? The only way past this challenge is to
Thank God for
randomly
that.
guess
Alright, I
the
didn't screw that up.
6-digit code. Like the invisible maze, it's frustrating to me because it's the opposite of everything else that Coda has made. It doesn't encourage thought or engagement. It doesn't ask anything of me except a lot of my time.
Nice, okay.
If I could have reached him during this,
We got done here
maybe
quickly at
I
least.
could have asked him, but I couldn't. I still don't really understand why this is here. I'll put the code on the ground for you here, though, so that we can move on. The switch to open this door is actually on the other side of the door, meaning that it's literally impossible to solve from this side. So even if you somehow brute forced your way through the first 2 challenges, and you got to this point, there's actually just no way to progress. And it's scary for me, the idea of Coda cutting himself off entirely. Just saying, you know, that's it, that's the end of the conversation, not giving me any way to fix the problem.
Nice.
I feel like a failure, I guess, when I can't fix the problem.
God damn it.
But I can open this door for you, so let me do that. Was I a failure for not understanding this game? I don't know why I would be. It's not like everything needs to have a solution. I feel it
Come on.
somehow. I feel like I failed, and I don't understand why. I remember, it's June of 2011. I'm playing this for the very first time. And as I'm playing, I'm thinking to myself, I don't know this person. I have no idea who this
Oops.
person is.
Overshot that.
It wasn't the guy I knew, it wasn't my friend. I had come to so many conclusions from looking at all of his work up to this point, and then suddenly none of them... I had been trying to, though. That was the thing. For years I was trying to get to know him, to understand who he actually was and what he stood for. I asked him so many times to please just tell me what his games mean to him. I asked him please to tell me what the 3 dots mean. And he wouldn't. I just felt so strongly that if I could have connected with him, that if I could have somehow made his work my own, that I would finally be once and for all happy. It was that I needed to see myself in someone else. I needed to be someone other than me. But he stopped and left. And it felt somehow like
excuse me.
I had failed. Where did I screw up? I'm the reason that you stopped making games, aren't I? It's because of what I did. I poisoned it for you. I don't think I ever told you this, but when I took your work and I was showing it to people, it actually felt...
Cool. Alright.
It felt as though I were responsible for something important and valuable. And the people who played
What's
them,
World Record like?
they treated
Oh,
me
it's
like
I'm
I
5
was
seconds behind World
important.
Record on this level. Alright.
You really listened and
Well, my
cared
best
about
is,
what
at least.
I had to say. Even though I was showing your work, it was... I felt good about myself. Finally. For a moment, while I had that, I liked myself. And then you stopped. And I didn't have anything left to show people. I just had to be with myself. And as soon as that happened, there was no feeling at all. Nothing. Less than nothing. What does that mean? I'm afraid that I did something really stupid because I don't like myself.
1, 2, 3.
That's
Okay,
why
I
I'm
should
releasing this
only lose a
collection
half
of
a
your
second
work,
most.
is because I haven't been able to find any other way to reach you. I've tried everything. And so a part of me has hope that if I put this compilation out into the world, and if I put my name on it, that maybe enough people will play it so that it'll find its way to you, so that I can tell you that I'm sorry. I know I screwed up. If I apologize to you truly and deeply, will you start making games again? Please, I need to feel okay with myself again. And I always felt okay as long as I had your work to see myself in. I mean, is something wrong with me? Because I know that I did an awful thing, and I'm doing it again right now. Like, I'm showing people your work, but I can't stop myself from doing it. That's how badly I need to feel something again, like I'm an addict. There has to be something wrong with me. Can I apologize? What if I tell you I was wrong? Will that work? Will that fix it? I don't know. I don't think it will, but there's nothing else that I can do. Just tell me what you want. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Please, start making games again. Please help me. Please give me some of whatever it is that makes you complete. I want whatever that wholeness is that you just summoned out of nothing and you put into your work. You were complete in some way that I never was. I want to know I want to know how to be a good person. I want to know how not to hate myself. Please. I'm fading, and all I want is to know that I'm going to be okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, we only lost. Okay, so we lost about a second. Alright. Alright, come on, epilogue. Please, let's go. Let's freaking go, dude. Good. Could we didn't bump there. That's nice. Didn't hit that. That's good.
More love, more praise, more people telling me that I'm good. Always more.
Get off that thing.
It's like a disease. Solution.
I played it super safe there and I still fucked it up.
I guess if someone had told me ahead of time that he just really enjoyed making prison games,
maybe it wasn't actually jumping on that fountain there. Fountain? More like...
wouldn't have told so many people that he was depressed.
I don't know what it was. Pond, I guess.
Even now, the disease is telling me to stop. Don't show people what a shitty person you are. They'll hate you.
Oh, I'll take that. I think that is better than PB. Alright, save load here. If I'd fucked that up, that would have killed the run. I don't know why the game lags when you do that save load there.
If I knew that my life depended on finding something to be driven by other than validation, what would that even be? It's strange, but the thought of not being driven by external validation is unthinkable. Like, I actually cannot conceive of what that would be like. What now? I think I need to go. And I'm sorry, because I know that I said that I would be here and I would walk you through this, but I'm starting to feel like I have a lot of work to do. I have a lot that I need to make up for. And so I'm just gonna... Okay.
Okay, this is really good. I could save time here on this split. It won't be any. It's nowhere near nowhere near a gold, but it's very good. I might actually be okay. I might actually not lose time here. There we are. This is it. This is the sub 47. Oh, what did I screwed that up. But it's fine. It doesn't make a difference, really. And we walk straight to the end of the level. And the end of the run. Don't bump there, because that would kill the run. Don't bump here, because that would also kill the run. Oof, that was closer than I thought. Alright. There we go, sub 47, at last. Yeah, we did save time, thank Christ. Cool, 46.55. Exactly 1 minute behind world record. Ah, excellent. Very good, very strong run. Very strong run. Only 23 seconds behind my best. Cool fun fact. You save load here. You can fall to the maze. But there is like an edge of the map, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, sub 47 at long last. Hell yeah, dude. Alright, cool. It's taken far too long to get this goddamn time, but yeah, I'm very happy with this. So very strong beginning. Very we had, I think this was a gold, so I was losing time here. That's fine. Down could have been faster. I got the skip slowly, sadly. What else? Oh yeah, Notes was very strong. That was like only 1 second behind my gold. Prison was pretty bad. I lost 4 seconds there. But it was fine. I had so much time to save in house. It was fine. I hope to get that consistently again. And then this was a gold, but only losing like 0.3 seconds compared to gold is amazing. Save time here. Golded island, which is interesting. Lost a lot of time on machine, which was unfortunate because I fucked the skip up. But yeah, I only lost 1 second to gold in tower, and then epilogue was pretty good as well. Cool. All right, awesome. New PB, sub 47. Yay.